I don't know if this will ever see the light. I am recording. No makeup on. I don't even know if it's bright enough. I just feel like I have to somehow video journal this. 2 days ago, I had a QHHT session. It's basically a quantum healing hypnosis session. Something. I don't know exactly what the acronym stands for, but it's the practice that the type of hypnosis that was done by Dolores Cannon. And I went and had my session. Now, normally, from what I understand, I didn't know very much about this at all. From what I understand, people meet their higher self, or they go in between lives and find out, that they might be on ships, or that they're on other planets, things of that sort. So I was very, very surprised to find out that I initially, just for a few minutes, went to the 14th dimension. But then when I asked my practitioner, where are you from? Because she was interested in finding out what, if there was a name to these people that I was seeing, that I was talking with. I immediately got pulled back to the 25th dimension. And then I stayed there for the rest of, basically it was a 2-hour recording. So I got a ton of information. I'm still unpacking a lot of it. Some of it, even though I listened to the audio one more time already since Monday, and today is Wednesday, some of it I still don't remember. My brain is not, it's not functioning really well for some reason. It seems like it's really a lot to wrap my mind around. A lot of the information I never heard from anywhere before, even though I've been watching and listening to spiritual gurus and those sorts of people for a while now, for probably a year and a half, 2 years. And it really did blow my mind. I really don't know how to cope with it. Yesterday, I spent the whole day, I think I was still in the 25th dimension. That's what it felt like, because I was still in a haze. I felt like I wasn't really here. Today, I am kind of integrating it more. I feel more like myself, but I'm still not 100%. So I just wanted to give some of this information. Basically, in the 25th dimension is we are next to God. And when I say next to God, is that I could see, it was like being in space, in the darkness, and there was nothing, couldn't see anything. The only thing I could see was that right behind me on this side, there was a little bit of light. And I could feel that it was not far away, like the light came all the way up to us, but it would have gotten, much brighter as you went into the light. But the light was here. And I referred to him. I said, God created us. He created us. Source, so is the way I call them. I said it. And when I say it wasn't me, it was us. So basically this us in the 25th dimension is all of us. They made it very clear that we are everything. When the practitioner, hypnotist, asked, who are you? What they said is, we are everything. And I'm a little bit confused by the pronouns I used during the session, and I keep using even as I speak here, because I say they, so it's clear who I'm referring to. But really, it's us. It's we. So we said, we decide, we do these things, because they made it very clear that all of us, all humans, animals, all humans on both sides, all humanoids really, because they're talking about the ones that we consider aliens as well, even people in humanoids in other dimensions. They said we are all from the 25th dimension. The 25th dimension is home for us. In the 25th dimension, I don't even want to refer to them as a collective, because a collective gives me the idea of somehow there is some separation. There was no separation. They gave me a feeling it was like we're air. There is no separation between, one part of air and the other part of air. We are all there. And they said that we have created everything. God created us. And we create, and we are forever. And every once in a while, we do something to break the daily, or I don't even, there is no time. So to break the routine, let's say. And so we decided to create the matrix. The matrix is everything. It doesn't have the negative connotation that we give it. We think of the matrix as something that only happens on this planet. They refer to the matrix as everything that was created by them, by us, in the 25th dimension. And the matrix basically includes everything. So includes all the planets, includes all the other humanoids, et cetera, et cetera. God did create other things besides us, but we are the ones that created this. And the reason we created this is because we were bored. They actually said several times they were trying to make the practitioner understand as she was asking these questions that every once in a while we just like to do something different, because otherwise we're just here all the time. And they create these worlds. So planets like ours, they create these worlds. They're like a blip. They said at least a couple of times, it's like a second for us. And it just gives them something to do. And what they call this is, it's a game. So what we're living through, it's a game. We go out. This is entertainment, and we go out, and not in a mean way, like they're entertained at our expense. It's us. Again, we set this up, and we come into these realities, of what we think of as realities, because we just want to have fun. We want to experience these things. Now I realize this might trigger some. I've already had an experience with somebody I shared this with, and she was triggered by this, which I completely understand because she's had a tough life. When they say it's entertaining as in it's a change of pace for them. It's something to do as opposed to just being. Because in the 25th dimension, we just are. We don't do anything. We just are. We are everything, and we are forever. What is triggering to us as we hear it, and I had the same reaction in some ways, because my ego mind was in the back, because I was under hypnosis, and I was getting these messages. We hear it, and it's a little bit, it's a little dismissive of our daily lives and our daily challenges, and the fact that we are very human, and we do feel things. So while this might be nothing to them, and I apologize for the noise in the background, that's my tower garden. It's watering the plants. While we might have set this up fun, it is very much an issue for us as humans, especially considering the times we're going through. So I want to share some of the things that popped to mind that they explained, is that everything is an idea. We control everything with our thoughts, but very specifically, everything is an idea. So they're talking about, for example, the illness that's been going around is an idea. They even made it very clear. They said that illness is an idea, cancer is an idea, war is an idea. You don't have to participate. The reason they gave me these examples, one, because of course the first one, the illness, is something that's on everybody's mind. The second one, cancer, is because I had cancer, or Clea had cancer, I should say. My ego body had cancer. And they were trying to explain that the reason I did get cancer is because it was an idea out there that I wanted to take on, because I wanted to feel like the game was real. And let me tell you, this did affect me, because it seems, again, very dismissive of what I had to go through with that. But then I understand what they're referring to, which is the fact that we don't have to. We don't have to agree with certain ideas, and we don't have to take them on in our lives. For example, there are things that I disagree with that are not part of my reality because to me they just don't matter. They're not real for me, and therefore they will never affect me. Another thing that they did say is that, so just to give an idea of how they look at things, which again was, my hypnotist was chuckling a little bit, and I laugh about it too today, but it was quite something when they said it. She let them talk for about an hour, just asking them questions about themselves. But I had prepared a set of questions that relate to my, lowly life, which matters very much to me. That's the reason I went to see the hypnotist. And so she was asking, so can we focus on can we talk about Clea? Clea has certain questions. And they initially said, who? And I was like, I almost wanted to jump out because I could hear my thoughts while they talked. So as I said, I was still there. And the way this feels is very, very odd. It was very trippy. Is that I can feel my thoughts coming from my brain, from my head, from this area. Just like when you talk to yourself in your mind, you can hear yourself, okay? And you know that the thinking is happening here. They were coming, I felt them coming from like the back, somewhere here. And this is my cat coming to visit. He likes to be on videos, I guess. He also responds very much to energy. As you can imagine, if you have pets, you know how that works. So this voice was coming from down here, and then I felt it as if it was traveling a long time to finally get through my throat and finally being able to speak it out. So it was funny when they're being so nonchalant about saying, Clea, who? Because I almost wanted to jump out. I'm like, the person whose vocal cords you're using, thank you very much. So it was interesting because I am very, very human. And I have an ego mind like everybody else. I'm a normal person. So to feel this come through and they're talking about me like, not that I don't matter, but that I am so low in the realm of what is our reality. I was like, wow. And so when she said again, Clea, they're like, and I could feel myself looking down as if you're looking through a telescope or a microscope even, and then you have to go in to hone in to actually know what you're talking about. They said, she's so small. They actually repeated that a couple of times. She's so small. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We're talking about my body. I can live with that, okay? I realize that I'm not my body, although it's a lot to take in, especially all coming at once with the rest of the information. And in another instance, they kept saying, "Oh, she's a good body." Like I am literally, as I speak to you, I'm just a body to them and to basically to us, to our consciousness. And also, I forgot to say, actually, they call themselves. They said when they were asked, "Who are you?" They said, "We are essence." So not spirit, not source. Obviously, not souls, we are essence. That's what they said. And not even essences in the plural. They said we are essence. And that was very interesting to me. Excuse the tail. And and so she kept asking questions. She said she wanted to know about, she insisted, she said, I want to know about Clea. After they went through that spiel about, oh, she's so small, they said, fine, we will focus. And what they meant by focus is not that they're confused and they have to focus. What they meant when they said we will focus, it meant we will, I felt it as meaning we will hone in, we will close in on Clea, okay? So that told me that they can see everything, and it's obvious from the other information they've given me, they can see everything, but for them, really, they have this high-level picture. So this is not about intel, even though I can ask, and they have given me some stuff. It's about the lessons that they were trying to teach me, which I believe are universal lessons, and that's the only reason I am recording this, just in case one day this might become relevant. That this is a game. Now, it doesn't mean that the game is fun for everybody. In fact, the opposite. What they said is the reason there is a new Earth waiting. There is a new Earth that's already born. It's already prepared. I could actually see in the distance towards center right. And it looks like paradise, what I would have imagined paradise looked before we came in, or before the madness ensued. In fact, they said this, it's because, they said the reason that's happening is because this Earth, we have to abandon this Earth. This Earth is a game board. So they think of this as a board game, basically. Think of it as a board game. And this planet is the game board, or it's a game board that's going to be wrapped up. This game is going to be ended. And there is the other planet because some of us, and not everybody, they said millions. And I was in my head asking, because I was able to ask questions as well, because again, I was sometimes even arguing with them on some of the responses they gave me that were the opposite of what I believe or what I used to believe as a person. And they said basically that, because I was thinking, I was asking them, is it tens of millions? Is it hundreds of millions? I was hopeful that it would be a lot of people. They said millions. I don't know what number exactly that is, but it's not tens of millions. I know that. And they said the reason this game is being taken down, as I said, is because we're not having fun anymore. And it's everyone. They made it very clear. It's everyone that's not having fun anymore on the one side and the other. So even the people that are in this dimension we consider the bad guys, they're not having fun either. So the way this worked, what happened is that when we decide from the 25th dimension to set up this game, we created teams, okay? And they likened it to, and I'm not American. I was born and raised in Italy, so I don't know a lot of the games that children play. But I know there was a game like Cowboys and Indians, and actually my practitioner jumped in. I was like, what is that game where you chase each other? They're like Indians. And she's like, Cowboys and Indians. And they said, yes. So this was the analogy. They said that it's like playing Cowboys and Indians. What you do is you're together, say there's 20 people, you and 19 of your friends, and you decide that you're bored, you're going to play a game of Cowboys and Indians. And then you're like, okay, you guys be the Cowboys and we will be the Indians. There is no real animosity. We're just friends and we're having fun, and we know we're having fun, and we're going to go out and strategize and decide what to do to get the other guys or to surround you or whatever you're going to do in this game. And that's exactly what happened. So we created two teams. That's what they kept on calling them, is two teams. Now the teams could have different under teams on each side. And so they showed me, so this would be my right. I don't know if it's the left for you guys. It doesn't really matter. To me, they showed me on my right that there was, like, for example, the place where I had first gone to, which was a 14th dimension. It was this planet. It looked almost white, but the city on it that I was in was all white. And they said, for example, people like that, that's one of the teams. So there are teams. If you want to say there are teams on the white side, teams on the black side. I'm only saying black because there was no judgment. We're literally all friends. And so we decided, let's make this interesting, and we'll go in and put in different ideas, throw out different ideas, and then anyone can pick up and accept any of these ideas and make it their own. Almost like we're combinations of different sets of ideas, and that's how we live our lives, which kind of intuitively makes sense to me, because all of us, that's why we're all so different. There might be thousands of ideas out there, and each one of us embraces, a combination of them. And so this happened. So there are these teams, and originally there was a balance. There was always meant to be a balance, because polarity is fun. You can have a little bit of anything, really. And also there's neutrality here. They said there's neutrality, meaning there are people that can be neutral, and then there's polarity. And that was all fun and all fine. The problem is that at some point, the way that they worded is they screwed up. So what I'm calling the black planets or the black castle. And again, that's just my wording, because they didn't say that. They said the other people. But because what I saw was white, I'm just using black as a reference color, or saying opposite. It's not that they said they were black in any way. But so this other side, basically, they screwed up, and the game became very dark, and the negativity basically became very, very negative, and it basically upset the balance. And they actually mentioned it a couple of times. They screwed up, meaning they didn't mean to. What happened? Because then we went deeper and we asked what happened. What is it that screwed up? What caused it? What started the domino effect? It was money. I was quite surprised to find that out, because in the realm of things that are happening out there, or ever happened historically, I wouldn't have thought that money was the one that made a huge difference. But it was, they said very clearly, it was money. Money came in, and they introduced money, thinking, again, like in a fun way. It's like, we're going to accumulate this, we're going to accumulate that. It's just another dimension, another idea. And but somehow money was different from all the other ideas they introduced, and it basically took over everything, and it turned people, it changed people, and that's how the balance was upset. And I will tell you, I actually went in yesterday after my session, the day after my session, and I actually thought about money and why money would have been so important, why money would have had that kind of energy where it took over everything. And I think I do have an explanation for that. This comes from me. This just makes sense to me. That differently from the other ideas, where you can espouse them or not, you can agree to them or not. For example, if I agree that I am not going to go to, to Italy, then I don't have to go to Italy. If I agree that I'm not going to go to public school, I don't have to go to public school. The difference with money is that whether you agree with it or not, you are under its energy field. In other words, you cannot live without it. And if you live without it, you're still under its energy field, because now you're outside. You don't get to partake in certain things in the rest of civilization. So money became all pervasive. I think that's where the balance was tipped, because now it's not a choice anymore. You might not want to live with money or deal with money, but you have no choice. And if you make the choice of not dealing with it, you will be punished by the system. The system will treat you differently and will judge you differently in all those things. And I feel like in my own, for my own intuition, that makes sense to me. You might have a different interpretation for this, but they were very clear. They said it was money. Money upset the balance, and it changed everybody. And so because of all of this, and they said also because the planet is dirty, this cannot be saved. In other words, I guess it's not even worth saving to them, because they actually said there's nothing to be saved. Nobody needs saving. So we are closing up this game. We are taking down this board and moving to New Earth. Now, not everybody's moving to New Earth. They made a lot of differentiations between people, who's moving, who's not moving. There are no bad news. Everybody's going because everybody wanted even the people who are not going, it's not like something bad is going to happen to them. And New Earth is just a new board game. Okay. It's a new game board, I should say. And many of us, all of us have chosen where we're going, and it's all going to be fine. For example, there are people who are going to, they said they're coming back to rest. Basically, it's like they're coming home. And you can pop in and out anytime you want. So you don't have to be there for any length of time either. There are some that are going to other planets because they want to keep playing. Some that are going to go to New Earth. They talked about, for example, how many light workers are going to pave the way, how many light workers there are, and what they do. And I might speak more about this, but I think it's enough for today, because even talking about these things is very, very draining to me right now. I'm still recovering, still feeling like I'm not quite sure. My reality is not quite back to what it was. So let's see. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with this video. But if it does ever get put up, thank you for watching. And And I guess if you have any questions, if I do put this up, I don't even know if I will open it up to comments, but if I do and you have any questions, just let me know. All right, bye.